Herbert, pump, throw, intercepted. Eric Murray, pick six.
Throw in here, good for a near side. Good adjustment and a catch by Goddard, who runs over his man, still on his feet, and he scores! Back at their own 5-yard line. Now they snap it here on a direct snap to Henry. Off to the races he goes. Stiff-arming his way to the 11-yard line. The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They doink their way to the divisional round! Unbelievable!
I have seen it all.
What's up, and welcome back to Cover 2 with BeeWoo EarlKnowsItAll, man, and it is a wild card weekend, BeeWoo, man. We back in the building. Playoffs have started.
Playoffs is here.
Man, it's like the most wonderful time of year, man.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Yes, sir.
If you're a football fan, to see who's gonna go to the Super Bowl.
I mean, my name is EarlKnowsItAll. I've been telling y'all all year who gonna make it. And we're gonna get into a couple of my teams.
Who's gonna be in New Orleans?
And New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl is gonna be in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
The Saints won't be there. That's
of
for
course
sure.
not. We knew they weren't.
We knew they weren't gonna have a chance.
A lot of y'all thought after week 2, the first 2 weeks, y'all thought y'all was gonna make it.
Yes, and that's exactly why I said that, because they was talking much, who that?
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, man, we got a lot of games this weekend, man. Full weekend, and even the game on Monday that we're gonna get into later on as well. But we can kick it off with some news though from the NFL, man. If you watched the episode last week, we talked about these black coaches not getting a fair shake, man. We talked about coaches getting fired after one season. After I thought about it, we was trying to think on the fly, like, has a coach ever been fired one? It's been a couple black coaches been fired at one year. Lovie Smith was one of them with Houston.
Yeah.
Steve Wilson, after that with Houston as well. But
Antonio
Pierce got fired, man. He joined the 1-year coaches, I guess, man.
Man.
Horrible crew to join.
Yeah.
I mean, now here's my thing, man. Much like we said, like with Gerard Mayo, you hired Antonio Pierce and you gave him Gardner Minshew and some guy that I think his name is Andrew McConnell or something like that, the other quarter.
Yeah.
What was he supposed to do, man?
Yeah, I mean, this is a sure sign set up for failure.
Yeah.
To get your guy, and Kraft tried to say, well, I didn't want him to go out and have to go through this.
What?
You just you set him up for failure. You didn't give him a chance to I mean, it's a bunch of BS, man.
It is, man.
It's a bunch of BS on that. Then Antonio Pierce, getting fired is the latest.
Yeah.
After,
crazy story. So I got a text from my buddy Ernesto.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big Tom Brady guy. I don't know how.
Right.
After the heartbreak Tom Brady's put him through, but rumors that the Raiders want Belichick.
Well, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that was.
But I did hear the rumor of Brady nudging.
Nudging
Davis.
Pierce.
Pierce.
Well, that's the second part to that.
Okay.
He wanted to try to go get Bill Belichick, who's already in North Carolina as a college coach.
Right.
But that was the thing. He was trying to convince Bill Belichick to come to Las Vegas, man.
Well, stay tuned for that. Man.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming.
Hey, Bill Belichick is a Darth Vader, man.
Listen, man. When was the last time the Raiders was good, man? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, but I can see that. I can see it.
I can see it. That's a very Raiders move, man.
Yeah,
it's a Raiders move. It's a big splash. I can see it. They tried that when they brought Gruden back, and that didn't necessarily work because He's a bigot, I guess. But
yeah.
I mean, so it'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye out on that, man, as the off season goes along, and kind of see if Bill Belichick is gonna break all those young men's hearts in North Carolina and across the country who he's been recruiting and just leave them high and dry, man. Will he do something like that?
Don't send your kids to North Carolina.
Yeah, he already 74 years old. So I don't know who was going there, but yeah, man. Yeah, that's something to look forward to, man. And again, and we're gonna talk about the Patriots too, because they made a hire, so we'll get into that as well a little bit later on. But another coach that got fired, Pederson, fired by the Jaguars, man. Super Bowl winning coach back with the Eagles, got let go from them. Now Trevor Lawrence is supposed to be the guy. They paid him all this money, and they just stunk it up, man. If you are a Cover 2 fan, you remember last year, BeeWoo.
Yeah.
At one point, this team was, I think, 9-2 or something like that, and they have been horrible since then.
I don't know.
It's like they forgot how to play football, forgot how to coach, forgot how to do everything.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's ugly,
but it's ugly. That Jacksonville team doesn't look very good at all. Like I mean, Doug can't get it right.
No, and I think you stuck with the quarterback now because you pay him out his money. He's a young guy, Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick. Had a decent start to. Well, he started off slow, but once they got Pederson in there, he kind of got rolling. They got to the playoffs. They won a game they shouldn't have won against the Chargers. We're going to talk about y'all a little bit later on, Chargers, too, with that big 26-point comeback. And I think that kind of gave people fool's gold with how good this team was.
Because they've not been anything since that run right there.
Not been.
And it just I don't know what it is because the team is looking like
and they're in the division with. So Deshaun Watson was out and all the stuff we know that happened with him. CJ Stroud, rookie quarterback coming in. The Colts got a rookie quarterback. They had Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan was sorry with the Colts. He was good with the Falcons. They sorry with the Colts. Sorry, Matt Ryan with the Colts. So the division, the Tennessee Titans got rid of their coach, got rid of Derrick Henry. All this stuff is happening. You thought Jacksonville was going to be the team that was going to run this division, but it's been Houston. Houston bounced right back. And yeah, man. I mean, so it's crazy how quickly the Jaguars are fed. We'll see what's going to happen with them as a coach. A lot of opportunities. Now, people will say what's the best coaching job. You got the Raiders out there. You got the Jets out there. You got this team, the Jaguars. You got who else? We got another team with a supposedly good quarterback. Oh, the first pick this year, Caleb Williams and the Bears. So couple opportunities to see what happens, man. And another team. America's team is looking for a coach too.
Wow, news breaks today.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I was caught off guard by this, but I understand that it was contract.
His contract.
Well, yeah, for the new contract, I think he wanted a longer term than what. I mean, I don't know, but who I mean, I wouldn't give it to him, but I'm not mad at him asking for it, though. Yeah, he wanted a longer term deal. I don't think it was about the money thing, but he wanted some security. I guess he wanted extension on the deal. But I mean, Mike McCarthy, I heard him speaking of young quarterbacks in Chicago. I heard he might be heard that too. He might be mentioning it, as a a likely candidate for the Chicago job. Yeah. So but yeah, man, I mean, it was destined to come.
I'm surprised he didn't get fired. like they was negotiating the contract. That's the wild thing. And I know Cowboys fans is probably. I'm sure y'all can come in if you're a Cowboys fan.
You should be
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
should be glad.
Yeah, why would you want Mike McCarthy back? Is Jerry losing his mind? We know he's real old.
And Jerry has said that he was going to bring him back. So I'm like,
I didn't believe it at the time, but it was McCarthy kind of forced their hand not to bring him back. So he did want him, I guess, but not for the contract that he wanted. Exactly. I can't believe that they were actually considering bringing this guy back.
Yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
It has been nothing short of
Cue the clowning.
It's been a real clown show,
Yeah,
you know. And, you know, they are probably one of the laughing stocks. I know the 4-letter network, and you know, a guy named Smith is always cracking on them
on their head.
Yeah, so but they definitely become, you know, American laughing stock.
Yeah, man, and it'll be interesting to see who they bring in. One of the names, of course, they've been floating for forever is Deion. I don't think there's no way Deion gonna go there though.
Nah, I mean,
Deion said he want to follow Shador, man.
Yeah, so. I think Deion is not going to go there. I mean,
I don't think he's gonna leave college yet.
No, I don't think. I think he. But his run, if speaking of Deion in Colorado, I think it's probably gonna come to an end.
Well, now I know you don't watch high school football. My daughter is a cheerleader, so I have to kind of go to some of these games. They got the top player in the country coming in, their quarterback though. Yeah, and Juju down here from Carousel or whatever. So they got a stud at quarterback coming back in. So if he can kind of hit the ground rolling, we'll see what happens, man.
I mean, it's a difference when it's your son.
It is. It is.
It's a difference when it's your son.
You know that from coaching.
Yeah, so you know, and you can do a lot of other things, you know, that you probably couldn't do with somebody else's son.
But nah, Juju, I mean, from a high school standpoint, he's pretty official though. He's a good player. So we'll see. Yeah. Most importantly, we'll see what happens with Deion. And with the Cowboys, and you know who they're gonna come up with. I heard Belichick last year when he got fired.
That's definitely.
I can't see Belichick ever working with Jerry Jones.
No,
especially after the Bill Parcells stuff.
That is definitely not going to mesh well.
Yeah. So I mean,
that wouldn't mesh well at all.
We'll stay tuned to see what happens with that, man. And last but not least, man, in these coaching firings, man. If you watched the episode, we told you there got to be a scapegoat, man, for these Falcons. Now, BeeWoo is the Falcon #1 fan, resident Falcon fan here on Cover 2 with BeeWoo. How do you feel about Jimmy Lake getting fired, man? Along with defensive line coach as well. But
you know, like you said, it has to be somebody to take the fall. The defense kind of looked like they were, you know, soaring at some points in the season, and then some points they show a lot better than it has been. Yeah, you know, we got some sacks. Yeah, you know, and you know.
I think, and I got to see, I'm losing. You know, Mr. Editor, see if you can find this video. It was one play that got Jimmy Lake fired, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely had to.
Why did you covering?
Out
in coverage, the guy you went and got.
Right, and I thought you was gonna say
there's more than one play.
I thought you was gonna talk about the play against the Minnesota Vikings.
Where the man was wide.
If everybody
Justin Jefferson.
And I mean, but. With the linebacker out there on coverage, you know, I've seen that a lot from this Falcons organization.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know why we keep doing that.
He's supposed to be a pass rusher extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Go let him pass rush, man.
Yeah. I don't think any linebacker should be out.
And he a big, he really, they call him a linebacker, but he really like a defensive end. Though.
Yeah.
So
that was definitely probably one. But like I said,
then Justin Jefferson. There's so many players to remember during the season.
Yeah,
that man, Justin Jefferson has to be covered. And he wide open, waiting on the ball.
Wide open, waiting on the ball.
But Jesse Bates looking like he's trying to find out what's like. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
I mean, but you know,
it is what it is.
This is what you do. And I don't know how long Raheem is going to be here, but when you want to buy yourself, some time. This is this is what you do.
So Terry is still alive. Raheem is still alive. But the clock is ticking on him now. Yeah. I think definitely Terry, even though, you know, when you kind of sit back and look at it, you said this last week, you're the Falcon fan, you're the voice of the Falcons. Terry really kind of did a good job, man.
I think so.
You know, he's done a pretty good job. I think some of the moves he made, his hand may have been a little forced. You could say Arthur Smith was involved in some of those earlier moves. So I think all in all, when you say, we talked about that stat where you had first team ever with 3 guys under 25, 150 yards rushing, 170 yards receiving, 300 yards passing in the game. I mean, it's a made up stat, but that's showing you the youth and the talent that you got on this team. That ain't even accounting for the tight end who's supposed to be good. You know, we'll see what happens with that. But they got talent. So Terry Fontenot's responsible for the talent. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know, so I don't know if he would get fired, but like you said, Raheem, you know, you picked your staff, you brought Jimmy Lake in. I think they were together in Tampa or something like that. Yeah, so be interesting to see who he brings in now.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. They were talking about your guy from Jacksonville,
who he was a former defense coordinator.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad at that.
Yeah,
I mean, the defense was decent when he was here.
Yeah, I think he spent some time in Carolina also. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know if if it's just a bad draw for Jimmy Lake because like I said, sometimes the defense looked like it was defending.
Well, so that's the thing. After the bye week, they said Raheem kind of stepped in and started. So I mean, maybe that was the case. Like,
but
maybe that's why he had to go.
Maybe, but
Raheem is doing his job for him. Like, I don't know.
And then him and Raheem, they supposed to be boys.
Yeah.
So that's a bad thing to have to do to fire your homeboy.
Yeah, it is, man. But I mean,
it is a business.
It's a business, man. You gotta produce, man. Yeah. Now, like you said, I know they mentioned the former DC coming back, maybe. Man, I think me and you talked about. I don't know if it was me and you or somebody else talking about. Gerard Mayo's out there. Can get on the staff, maybe.
Yeah, and I hadn't heard anyone mention that mix. Yeah. Like, what's the deal?
You know how the coaching thing work though. Like, it's usually somebody you've been on the staff with, you know, on some kind of way.
So maybe they hadn't. So they hadn't worked.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Gerard Mayo was playing for a long time. So I mean, while Raheem has been coaching, maybe they passed him across. That may be why, man. Now we finally get into the wild card weekend, man. Actually, before we do that, man, another coaching hire. We talked about this team. We can just jump into that first, I guess, man. And the sham that these guys put on, man, with a couple interviews, but
I kind of briefly touched on that in the opening segment. But
Mike Vrabel is New England coach.
Yeah,
like come on, come on, New England, come on, Bob Kraft.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
Yeah.
Now it'll be very interesting to see how much of for lack of a better leash or how much leeway they give Mike Vrabel with the he's got to build his team up. He didn't inherit a good team.
Yeah.
The Gerard Mayo.
He set him up for failure. Yeah. They did the black protocol and bringing in.
They got a draft pick. Like now, Bob Kraft might be a genius, man. Yeah. Let's hire this guy for 1 year.
Yeah.
We get an extra draft pick because we did DEI hired it. All y'all.
Yeah.
Well, I almost forgot where I was at, man. I need to get some sleep. I almost said the wrong word, but all y'all people out there love to say
that now.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, they make that hire, they get an extra draft pick for that, and then you go get the guy you really want, I guess, man.
Yeah.
And Mike Vrabel. That's crazy.
That's exactly what happened. They looked at your boy Leftwich and
what was my guy's name? Pepe something.
They brought Leftwich in and they got him in and out. How you doing? Thank you for coming. See you later.
And here's the thing though. So as the black coach, you kind of gotta take an interview and
and I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about that on the way over here. It's like you gotta kind of go with the protocol because like then because you got to go with the system.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do.
You fighting with one hand tied behind your back, and it's like, okay, man.
Yeah, because you don't want to get Kaepernick.
True.
And say, well, you don't want the game. You don't want to play. You're like, So I mean, it's sort of like, what do you do? But then you also look like, hey, man, I went in there for this bozo show.
Yeah. When they fired Gerard Mayo, the thing, everybody, they said they're going to hire Mike Vrabel. So you already know they're not going to hire me, but I got to go in here and put on this show for them and, interview them just for the sake of saying, I interviewed. And then the thing that starts happening, because we saw this with Eric Bieniemy, who had to wind up going to college. Okay, maybe he doesn't interview well. He's went to all these interviews. So now you got an extra interview on your thing that they can use against you too and say, he probably doesn't interview well. Why is he not getting hired? I done went on 5 fake interviews. You're using that against me now. And what am I supposed to do?
Right.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy thing.
It's a tough world.
It is, man.
It's a tough world.
And we ain't trying to make the show out black and white. We just it's the truth, man.
It's the truth.
It's right there in black and white.
And somebody said, why everything got to be about race? Because it is. And when it stops, then it won't be anymore. Yeah. But until then, this is a
my thing. I don't know who asked that or who said it, but my question would be, why does it?
Why does it? Why does it?
Why does it have to be? Man?
Why does it? Yeah. But hey, you got to put out that fight. You got to acknowledge.
That's true, man.
You got to acknowledge.
So I'm Earl Knows It All, and you are locked in to Cover 2 with BeeWoo and Earl Knows It All, man. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for watching. Do me a huge favor, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend. And y'all know what we like to say. Tell a hater as well, man. We got jam-packed shows for you each and every single week, giving you the best coverage of the NFL. Myself and BeeWoo, man, we are here for you. We are the voice of the people, man. And now we're going to let you get back to the show as we get more into the topics for this week.
Now we got to get into these games, man. A great wild card weekend. Wild card weekend, one of the best weekends. Playoff football, period, man. Like, you get these 3 weekends, you get this wild card round, you get the divisional round, conference championships, all that build up to the Super Bowl. It's just football, good football usually, even though some blowouts this week. And here's looking at you, Jim Harbaugh, man. I thought we was gonna see something different with the Chargers. I got a rule though, man. Don't trust the Chargers. I picked the Chargers one time this year and they let me down. Yeah. I forgot my rule and I didn't pick them in this game because one thing, I didn't know they was playing this team. Yeah. But if I would have known that, I thought they was going to play the Steelers, but the way the seeding worked out, they wound up going to Houston, and he went to bed, man.
Man, I mean, shout out to the Houston defense.
Yes,
man.
Sir.
Like, they did everything. I mean, at 1 minute, I was like, man, what? I was just sitting here like this, like, why can't my team defend like this?
Yeah, I saw what you posted.
Like,
I'm waiting for the day to
man. Like I'm thinking I'm playing a John Madden game because they was picking Herbert off.
Yeah, man.
Most interceptions he thrown all year long.
He threw 3 interceptions, BeeWoo, the whole season. He threw 4 in this game.
4 in this game.
That's crazy.
They were sacking him. Yep. They was picking him off.
Yeah.
Like, man, CJ Stroud didn't really have to do much in this game.
He did.
And he didn't. But man, like you said, don't trust the Chargers.
Can't trust them, man. And I thought Jim Harbaugh was gonna change.
Right.
I wanted to believe in y'all Chargers.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not trusting y'all. I got to see y'all holding up a trophy, winning the Super Bowl. I ever believe
it was bad. And somebody said, well, the Texans go get to play the Chiefs. But man, if the Texans and DeMeco Ryans defense is like it is now,
hold on. Do we got a prediction coming?
Man, hey,
don't give them that.
Hey, but I'm just saying, man. Shout out to that Texans defense.
They look good.
And DeMeco Ryans, man. Y'all guys did y'all thing.
Yeah. And the Texans, they kind of, not flew on the radar. They had their division kind of wrapped up.
Yeah.
They struggled a little bit. CJ Stroud maybe had a little bit of the sophomore jinx, I guess you could say, or slump.
Right.
But you in the playoff. That's a Falcon. No, that's why I get what you said. All you got to do is get to the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Then you can win this one. And then if your defense is hot or something can happen, we can win the next one.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're rolling.
You're rolling, man.
Yeah, man.
So anything's possible once you get in the door. Once you get in the door, anything is possible.
It'll be a good one to look forward to, man, to see what the Texans do. Like you said, they get Kansas City now, man. Because in the other game, the Steelers also on that Saturday night took on the Ravens, and the Ravens they laid the smack down, man. It was quite ugly.
Yeah,
quite ugly.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what I expected it. Lamar and Henry, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, man. You might want to go ahead. Man. You might want to go ahead and put the trophy up for them guys.
Listen, because I'm glad that he's coming over to my side.
Hey, they are. I mean, if Lamar got past his nemesis in the Steelers, then it's just like MJ getting past the Pistons.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be on. It could be on and popping from him, man.
Yeah, man. That's very true.
It could be on and popping from him.
I just want to show this run, man, or this meme that they got on him, man. It's crazy how that one run. I know everybody's seen this. Where Minka Fitzpatrick got smacked in the next week. Like your mama said, boy, I'll knock you in the next week. Yeah, he definitely got knocked in the next week, man.
Stiff arm by Derrick Henry on Fitzpatrick there at the end of the play.
Like, yo, you do that, man. 7 down there, some lemonade, man.
He already headed to Cancun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was like that smack, that force that he has, man.
Yeah.
And then if you saw the highlights, it was one play where Lamar, they do the read option. He hands on the ball and takes off like he had the ball still. Mm-hmm. All the linebackers go with Lamar. And Derrick Henry, who has played with Ryan Fitzpatrick and played with who else he played with? Ryan Tannehill. Never played with a quarterback like this before. He never saw a lane this open in his life. And he just off and gone to the races for the touchdown, man.
Yeah, man.
Like
Derrick Henry, and then he's also teaching his teammates, because I think it was it Isaiah Likely or Bateman? Somebody else had a mean stiff arm.
Might have been Likely.
And I'm like, man, he bringing the lessons, man.
Listen, man. Listen, as much as we try to, or not we, as much as the media or the league tries to downplay running backs, two of the biggest pickups, man, that we've seen, Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry, man. And, and anybody probably could have had these guys for the amount of money they got.
Yeah.
And you see, the one thing we talked about, the Ravens don't run the ball enough. They rely on Lamar too much.
Right.
They got their horseback there, man, King Henry. And he beats them, man. Like, it's gonna be a fun one.
And I think the league is getting back, back to the running back.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta. This is definitely something. One while we were passing league, and the league was getting away from running and kind of diminished the running back play. True. But man, when you look at what these two guys doing, you gotta have your and Bijan,
Detroit with Jameer Gibbs and Montgomery.
You gotta have it. That's where it's coming back full circle. You're gonna have to have your running game.
And we'll get to the Green Bay game. Josh Jacobs, like all the teams that's in the playoffs, they got a running back that can kind of make some shake. Right.
Yep.
So
exactly,
man. You need you one of those, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of teams in the playoffs, not there no more, man. What do you think is gonna happen with Russ? He was on a 1-year deal. Justin Fields on a 1-year deal. And Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is maybe one of the most unappreciated coaches in the NFL. I saw somebody saying that Mike Tomlin should be fired. We're tired of Mike Tomlin. All he's ever done is win 18, 19 years without a losing record. Like,
man,
does he get tired and leave? Sound like he was still saying, hey, we're going to see what we're going to do with the quarterback situation. Do you think they should bring Russ back?
Well, it comes out today that Russ said he would like to come back and be with the Steelers. I don't know, man. I don't know. The offense don't look like it's offense, and
Georgia boy George Pickens has had a lot to say.
I mean, Pickens kind of said he didn't really have no trust, he don't have no faith in him. I don't know if it's our boy Arthur Smith. I know
it's Arthur Smith,
because or if it's Russ, I mean, I don't know. Now, Russ didn't look good.
He did.
He didn't look good the last 5 games.
Yeah, lose 5 in a row, man. 10-3.
So
in the season with 5 straight losses. Like they had everything in front of them, and they had a tough 5 games to play though. Two of those against Baltimore. I think they played Philly, Kansas City, and one of those. Like they played the top teams in the league, Philadelphia. Right. So. I mean, I get it, but you gotta, if you're gonna win a championship too, you gotta go through those teams.
You gotta go through, and then let's go back to talking about Tomlin. He has a winning, never had a losing season. But you kind of one and done. after
they have
the
not won a
season.
playoff game in a long time.
So you kind of want it done after the season, but so as a fan base, you experience that with Mark Richt here in Georgia.
Yeah.
You kind of get tired of can't
getting that
past
short.
Yeah. So I mean, Tomlin's a great coach.
Yeah.
I would love to have him. I hear some people say, man, I would fire Raheem here today for if we could get Tomlin. I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Yeah.
But
I've seen a lot of people say if Mike Tomlin gets let go, he won't last for 24 hours.
No, he won't. He will not be out there long.
Yeah.
And Steelers don't do a lot of coaching changes.
No, only had three coaches.
Yeah, they only had three coaches from what I hear.
Yeah.
But Mike Tomlin, maybe he's done. Maybe he's not done.
I mean the way like I said, we talk about the Rooney Rule is named after Pittsburgh owner. I think the way the Pittsburgh Steelers have always done business, they, like you said, they only had three coaches in all this long span of time since the 60s or whatever. So they don't typically get rid of a coach. Usually their coach has retired or left. Chuck Noll and then with Bill Cowher. So maybe it's a situation where Mike Tomlin is gonna have to say, "Hey, I'm out of here," especially since he's won a Super Bowl too, and been to another Super Bowl. So, I mean, you never know. It may be time for a change of scenery. I just, I understand some of the frustration, like you said, with not, coming up short. But
it's gonna be a very interesting offseason for them and what they're gonna do with Tomlin.
It can look way different.
And if Tomlin's gonna come back, you got Arthur Smith right there, maybe be the next head coach. Who knows? I wouldn't do it, but stranger things have happened.
He's got head coaching experience, and we've seen stuff like this happen before.
Stranger things have happened. But let's
be a lot of y'all think that's still a fan.
Where would you like to see Tomlin? If what organization can he change?
I'm gonna think outside the box on this, man. Send Mike Tomlin to Dallas, man.
Mike Tomlin to Dallas.
Mike Tomlin got the swag.
I don't want to see Dallas.
I don't either because I don't want Dallas to win. I think Mike Tomlin could turn them around.
Yeah.
Now you got Dak there who is a little, so I don't know. But I don't know how to think about that, man. Think about it. I want him to go somewhere where he has a chance to, if he does go somewhere, to continue to be successful. So like he's proven himself, a long track record. It shouldn't be no Raiders or Jacksonville type job.
No. I don't think
it's got to be a premier job.
I don't think he would go for anything like that because he's a proven coach.
Got to be a premier job.
I don't see him doing that unless he gets one of these stud quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you got to choose wisely with him because they tell us Trevor Lawrence is a stud. They tell us Justin Herbert is a stud. Look what he just did in the playoff game. You better make sure you know who your stud quarterback is, man, because it can be shaky. It can get spooky real quick. So,
hey, that's something to think about, though. Get at us in the comments and let us know what you think.
Steelers fans, man, where y'all at?
Who you like?
Y'all out there.
See Tomlin go to. I know the Steelers fans probably don't want to see him go.
Some of them,
but some of them do. But I mean, it would look real different.
It would.
To see Tomlin somewhere else.
With some different colors.
Yeah.
Now, we got to get into the next game, man. A lot of people, and surprisingly enough, I can't believe this, man. A lot of folks thought this was going to be a close game, maybe a chance for upset, but Josh Allen and the Bills had some other things on their mind.
Mr. Nix, you had no chance. You had no chance.
Listen, I know y'all, if you watch SEC football, just college football, if you was around in the 60s and 70s, you seen Bo Nix play. Because he was in college football for about 20 years. So.
Right, yeah.
He looked like Bo Nix, man.
Yeah.
He started out hot. They was up 7-0, big touchdown pass, and like, what the Broncos gonna do?
Yeah, man. I mean, Bo Nix is the second coming of your boy in Tampa. He reminds me a lot of Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Yeah, his second coming of Baker Mayfield. Kind of cocky and, kind of rah guy, but, But
he ain't as good as Baker Mayfield.
I don't know. I mean, the man said today that he played with a back injury all year. Is this what
like that time LeBron broke his hand in the finals?
So that's what he said. He had a back
Played with a broken hand.
fractures.
He played with a broken back.
He said
he's a modern medical.
He said he had back fractures throughout the season.
So where were these back fractures when he was throwing for when he had 18 straight completions last week and he was on fire against the Scrubs from Kansas City?
He said
I didn't see him grabbing his back then, man. Oh, I'm hurt.
Back fractures. That's just the news.
Hey, man, okay, cool,
man.
man.
He had back fractures.
All right, but
but I mean, this game was over with before it even started.
Oh man, don't say that. The Broncos fans are upset at Tony Romo kept saying the game was over with. So they don't want to get on their bad side.
Man, that was true.
It was over with before it started. He said it was
over with before it started.
And
thank y'all for showing up.
We don't got his name on him, but shout out to James Cook, Georgia running back.
Yeah,
he's doing this thing. Another team with a good running back. James Cook, quiet as kept. Yeah, doing his thing, man. And of course, now we're gonna preview a little bit just because we've been talking about the MVP all year. It's been heating up. We'll see who wins the MVP. Shout out to my guy Lamar Jackson. We didn't say this earlier. Who was first team All Pro. A lot of those people who vote for MVP. So maybe that could mean he wins MVP. But the big showdown now between Buffalo and Baltimore, man. Baltimore has to go into Buffalo. That's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one. I heard somebody say this is like Lakers versus Celtics from '84.
Yeah,
for so many reasons, I guess, man. Because the media likes to do this thing where put people against each other for some reason. But I think it's gonna be some good football. Though.
I think it's gonna be a very.
They played earlier this year, and Baltimore took care of business up against Buffalo. So it'll be fun to see if Buffalo's ready now. They got the 2 seed. They got home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? Who I'm rocking with? I heard you say you think the Ravens gonna win it all too, maybe. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens in that game, man. It should be a fun one.
And last week I said I was looking for a team to jump on, hitch my wagon to. Yeah, I think I found them in the Ravens, man.
Okay, man. Now this makes me very nervous. You keep saying it because you may have some of that Falcon juju you put over here on my Ravens.
I just understand good football. Okay. I am a Falcons fan.
Okay,
and I'm probably gonna give it to you the most authentic.
Y'all try to give me crap about me room for the. Truthfully, I joke a lot on him.
The Falcons is my team.
Well, the Ravens might be my team, man. Listen, you can ask anybody.
If the Ravens lose, go 0-16, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be like, hey,
that's how I know I'm really a Ravens fan for real, man. Because when they lost when they was getting beat, and I was like, Lamar, what you doing? Like I was for real deal mad when they lost to the Chiefs last year. So,
getting on to the next team of yours.
Speaking of my other team,
so how do you feel about the Eagles going 0-16?
If the Eagles go 0-16, the Ravens really my team.
But the Eagles win, though. I ain't seen you with a Ravens hat on all season.
Look, man, let's take you behind the scenes here. Yesterday, I went looking for a Ravens hat. Okay. I got a Lamar Jackson jersey. Look, if we win the Super Bowl, I'm gonna be in Ravens everything. If we get to the Super Bowl,
okay,
man.
you've been
on the way, man.
You've been flicking this Eagles hat around here all season long,
just for TV.
But now the Ravens.
I like the Eagles too, though, man. I like the Eagles, man, and they showed up and had a good game too, man. Offense left a little bit, a little shaky maybe, but defense dominated too in that game, man. Played pretty good. 22-10 victory over the Packers. Packers scored on after Josh Jacobs had a crazy run, dragging people with him down to the end zone. A couple big runs in that game. I think what was it? Dallas Gobert, the tight end. He smacked the guy around too with a nasty stiff on a couple guys. So it's playoff football, man. The shout out and RIP to the great John Madden. There's some slobber knocker going on, man.
Yeah,
it's a good time,
man. Speaking of the Eagles defense, man, shout out to a boy from Georgia,
Roquan Smith.
Man, he balled out.
Yeah.
He balled out, man. That whole Eagles defense, man. I can see why
that was the problem. Like they should have been like that last year. They kind of fell apart as the season went along, but like Jalen Carter up front, they got the big boys up front. They got Roquan Smith. I think he got hurt towards the end of the game, so we'll see what's going on with him. You got Slay back there in the backfield who got an interception in this game too. They got players on that team, man. They got if you like the other side, they got a white cornerback. First time we've seen that since Jason Sehorn.
Right.
And Cooper DeJean. So they have a talented team, man. A lot of talent on that team. And on offense, they got a lot of weapons too, man. You got A.J. Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you got Saquon, of course, Jalen Hurts. So
the Eagles, they're stacked, man, and they're definitely poised to be, on the other side of that Super Bowl.
I feel very comfortable about my Super Bowl picks, man. Now, like I say, once they get there, it's just gonna be like, hey, whoever wins, man. I may be rooting for Lamar a little bit more because I feel like they put more heat on Lamar. But man, I'm gonna be torn. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like I said, those two teams are definitely, but Pat Mahomes, they kind of fly on the radar.
All look foolish, man.
They kind of always fly on the radar.
I was talking to one of our commenters. He was like, "Now you keep saying that you made a mistake of going for everybody but Patrick Mahomes. So who do you think is gonna win the Super Bowl now?" I told him, "I'm not going with Patrick Mahomes again, man." He said, "Oh, you still haven't learned."
Yeah.
Hey, man, we're gonna see what happens, man. I mean, it's hard to win 3 Super Bowls. We've never seen it happen before.
Yeah.
So just from logic and just you try to choose somebody else.
But, I think the sort of the way that media forced LeBron James on us.
Oh, they did it with Pat Mahomes.
I think they're doing, Pat Mahomes,
Travis
was
Kelce,
in
Taylor Swift, all of them.
every primetime game the NFL had on. It was Pat Mahomes or the Dallas Cowboys.
He's the man, man.
So I mean, they're kind of trying to.
He's on every commercial.
Yeah.
He's on the State Farm commercials. He's on the T-Mobile commercial with Snoop Dogg.
Like he's everywhere. Forcing this.
You got Travis Kelce everywhere.
Forcing it on us.
They got Andy Reid in the commercials.
Andy Reid, they are kind of trying to make this. Do we call this the 20s?
I guess so, man. The Roaring
20s. And they're kind of trying to make this team.
They got 3 Super Bowls already, and they may be going for a 4th and 3 in a row. Like, I mean, can you blame them?
Right.
You got to go with the bread is buttered, I guess, man.
Exactly.
Now, I put up here, do you think the Eagles' passing game is good enough to get into the Super Bowl? I pretty much just said I think they're going. You like their chances. Maybe Detroit, of course, will have something.
I don't know. I mean,
they don't. They got one of the lowest passing totals all year, and that's just. I mean, they run the ball though, so that's part of it.
And I think that's
they can't get down. I say that. You don't want to get behind.
You gotta stay up, and and I don't think you want to have to depend on Jalen Hurts. And,
I think he can pass.
I think he can pass, but I don't think you want to be in a situation where
you want to play from ahead.
Those thoughts in his head and reharness, things of the past. Like you want to keep your young quarterback feeling upbeat, strong, positive about what he got going on. Run the ball.
I agree with you.
Run the ball.
Now they will take on the winner of. Well, we'll get into that later on. I guess the winner of the Vikings and Rams game, as we talk about that, we'll go to Philly and play the Eagles. And of course, because of the dramatic fashion that this game ended in, and we got to shout out the young boy, man, Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, and our old friend Dan Quinn. They win over the Bucks, man.
Yeah,
big time win.
Yeah,
23-20.
Yeah,
a doink victory, man.
And that doink, I was falling asleep when watching this game.
It was that loud.
And that doink woke me up, and I said, "Oh, they did it! They did it!
Yeah, man.
They did it!" Yeah. So, and I was like, "Wow,
man, Jaden Daniels is a bad boy. Yeah, we saw firsthand what he did on that 4th quarter run against the Falcons, and then in overtime, he did the same thing, driving his team down the field in this playoff game. Poised, just no pressure. My first playoff game, it don't matter. I'm on the road, don't matter. I'm playing against guys on his defense who won Super Bowl, don't matter.
No coming.
Jaden Daniels is a bad boy, man. Yeah. He is a bad boy. And the Commanders, I think they got one. It's gonna be around, man. We talked about that when him and Penix played. Like
Yeah,
it may be a matchup you see for the next, 10, 15
and I'm
years.
sure that there's somewhere the NFL is going to get that as one of a Monday night game.
Oh yeah, I think we'll definitely
a Sunday night,
especially as exciting as that Sunday. They flex that to a Sunday
night game. Yeah,
so
we'll see that. We'll see that this year sometime.
Yep.
Maybe not a season opener.
Could be. That'll be a fun way to kick it off, man. And you got the Dan Quinn, Raheem, all that
going on.
Could be. Good. Now they got to take on the Detroit Lions, man. And we've been talking about Dan Quinn 2.0. You got Coach Brotherhood against, Dan Campbell.
Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Cute as Spider-Man. We'll be pointing at each other. To stare down like Hogan. Some of these kids too. They don't know about Hogan.
I got you.
But I think that's gonna be a fun game, man.
Yeah.
They got to go to Detroit, and I've been doubting Detroit all year, man. I think the Commanders may beat them boys, man. It wouldn't surprise me if they did.
Well, I mean, like last week we said,
watch they get blowed out by Detroit.
We did say that the Dan Campbell shenanigans was gonna catch up with him.
Yeah. And the problem is, if you keep it close with the Commanders, they've proven that they will pull one out.
But Dan Quinn does a lot of shenanigans too.
He does.
So
he is the original shenanigan man.
So this is gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
let's see who can pump fake or mix it up the most. What this gonna be. Can the Commanders beat the Lions?
I think they can.
Will they beat them? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Gibbs and the running game is
they still got a good running game. I think I saw Montgomery has the possibility
of coming back. So I mean, man. I don't know if the Commanders giving them a lot of praise, but they skated through the game with the Falcons. They skated through this game, and the Detroit Lions, man,
but it's something too. It's something too being able to win them close games too, though.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, like the Lions is blowing people out some of the games, but their defense kind of has a lot of injuries. And when you get to the playoff time, it's gonna be kind of tight, man. You got to be able to make some clutch decisions. And I will say this most definitely: if you ask me who I trust more, Jared Goff or Jaden Daniels, and I only seen a season of Jaden Daniels, I'm taking Jaden Daniels, man. I trust him. I feel like Jared Goff will turn back into Jared Goff. The clock will strike 12. The pumpkin will turn. The cherry gonna turn into a pumpkin. Everything. The mouse is gonna be running around, and he is gonna be himself again. Right now, he got everything around him he needs.
Detroit, I'm with you. It's nothing to see here.
Listen, Detroit. Okay, y'all heard it, man. I'm with y'all, Commander.
Detroit, I'm with you. It's nothing to see.
DMV, I'm with y'all. Now, like we said, we're gonna get into this other game, man. And before we even get into that game, we got to talk about the LA Fires and, of course, everybody out there, man. Thoughts and prayers, of course, to all the people out there. Loss of life, a lot of losses, just destruction of property and all that kind of stuff, man. It's been kind of heartbreaking to see. They had to move this game, of course, to Arizona. So we saw a dominating performance from the Rams, man. They moved on, of course, after manhandling the Minnesota Vikings. I guess we can kind of put a bow on the season for the Vikings now, man. 14-3. They lose that big game in Detroit that could have possibly made them the number 1 seed. Instead, they don't win that game. They got to travel out to Arizona to face the Rams in this game, and they pretty much never had a chance, man. Dominant performance by that defense, getting a pick 6 at one point, man. Making sure that Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson never really got going. And the Rams move on, and now they got to prepare for a game against my Eagles, man. BeeWoo giving me crap here today about the Eagles. Are they my team? Are they not? But I think that'll be a very good game, man. We'll get a chance to see exactly what's going to happen in that particular game going forward. But big win for the Rams, like I said, and a big win for the city, as we talked about as well, man. Kind of just, kind of putting maybe people's mind at ease for a couple hours as they're going through it out there in LA right now with those Fires. So, like I said, congratulations to the Rams. And this could be a story now that we got to look for to see. Is it going to be that kind of galvanized, get galvanized as a team and maybe go out there and try to win one for the city and do something special for LA. So we'll see what happens with that, man. Of course, we got to talk about these Monday night games as well, man. What do we think about that? I guess, kind of even transitioning from that. How you feel about these Monday night games in the playoffs?
It's something different.
It is.
Something different. It's just the NFL told us.
Hey, that's what they gonna do, man.
It's just like they just
yeah, they
they
the big bad bully, man. Like
they just doing what they want to do, man.
We're gonna play on Prime. We're gonna play every day of the week.
Yeah,
Christmas Day now. We're gonna play on Monday nights in the playoffs.
And this is another way that's them saying, "Hey, we are that guy."
Yeah, they even have kind of made like college had to kind of get out the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll play on Thursday and Friday since y'all got the weekend. Like it's like you got to get down and lay down, man.
And this this is what they doing, man. I mean, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, you're NFL, a fan of the NFL. I think they are definitely tooting their horn.
They are, man. They are, man. So that's the results from that game on Monday night, man. And of course, next week we got a lot of good football, like we said, BeeWoo, that's coming up, man. Some predictions that we can look at. We talked about some of those games. It's gonna be fun coming back to see the Ravens taking on the Bills. That's probably the game I want to see the most. My Ravens, and I guess your Ravens now, man. I don't know how that happened.
I told you I had to find a bus to catch, man. I had to find a bus to catch.
Yeah, man. So we'll see. And like we said, are we doubting Detroit? And are we doubting Kansas City? Like, well, you just said you like Detroit. So am I doubting Detroit?
You doubting Detroit.
Yeah. And most importantly,
it's nothing to see here.
Like, is this thing getting kind of old with the NFL where it's just going to be like, oh, pencil in Kansas City. They're going to win it every year, man, until Patrick Mahomes decides that he don't want to have it no more.
Yeah. I don't know. But that is to be determined.
It is, man. I think Lamar and company. Oh, I'll even go as far as to say, man, I'm really jumping out here. Whoever wins that Buffalo game is going to the Super Bowl.
You was jumping down.
I mean, we already said we like the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think, and we've seen the only team that they lost to this year was Buffalo. Mm-hmm. Buffalo, they handled them pretty well. So we know Josh Allen has had some struggles with beating Kansas City in the playoffs, but it ain't been his fault. He's done everything, and then Mahomes has had a ball at the end of the game. So we'll see, man. You guys tell us what you think, man. Are you prepared, or how are you feeling about what these playoffs, what the wild card games were? How do you feel about the divisional rounds coming up? Off season started. If your team is not in the playoffs, let's hope spring eternal now. Are you saying, hey, I want this coach, or I want to get rid of my coach? I want a new quarterback. Like, what's your wish list for your team if your team is not in the playoffs right now? And like we said, you guys comment, tell us what you think, man. BeeWoo, you got anything for the people, man?
Hey, man, appreciate y'all again.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at the subscribers.
Yeah.
And
it's growing every week, man. It's growing
every week.
It's growing. Maybe we can do like a little giveaway. We give a cover 2 hoodie, a t-shirt or something, man. Once we hit a certain mark, we love the fans so much. We love the haters too. So we're gonna do a little giveaway or something. Man. We're gonna figure out some kind of way to make that shake.
Yeah, hate us all the way to the top.
Exactly.
And love us to the top.
There you go, man. You might as well come on in.
Might as well come on.
It's the best thing out there.
Come on,
hey, man. Like we said, BeeWoo, man, we appreciate y'all watching, man. Make sure you like, subscribe. We'll see you back next week, man, as we recap all of the divisional games. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.